Hey Jose, how is it going?
I'm good. How are you, Jeffrey?
Doing very well. Welcome to the Volume Up podcast. We are thrilled to have you. If you wouldn't mind, let our listeners know a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into hair?
Well, I'm Jose. I'm 25 right now. I live like an hour away in Chicago. It's called like Waukegan. It's like a suburb away.
Okay.
We're pretty small compared, but how I got into hair was what was it? I think I was like 7 and my sister was like 4. And I was like, come here, let me use these scissors on her. So I gave her like uh, like micro bangs are in now, but back in the
They
day,
are.
I was like a mess up. Like, oh damn, you cut them too short. But for her, she's 4, she's cute.
She can make it
But
work.
actually, yeah, she made it work. But man, when the time my mama got home, she got so mad. Like, what did you do? I went to the store, and now your sister got micro bangs. So that's where it first started out. So I don't know what it was about the scissors and my sister's hair, because she has like long, luscious. Like she was blessed. She's blessed with
Mhm.
hair. So like ever since then, she was like, I guess you could call it like my muse. Like, oh, let me try this on you.
Mm.
So then one time I got a round brush stuck in her head, so we chopped something off. So like, but she was little and she was like, yeah, sure, whatever my bigger brother wants. Apart from that, I think like the first what got me into it was like, that like stage when you're like in middle school, like transitioning from like elementary to middle school, like
Mhm.
sometimes the kids are like rough. Like that's like when like the bully happens and like
Yep.
whatever. And I remember my mom used to do like these basic like one ponytail or like two pigtails. And it's just like I'm in middle school now. Like that's not like the kids
It's
are
not going to cut
teasing
it.
me.
Yep. Yep.
Like no. So then I think I was like, you know what? Makeover. And I think just seeing her get bullied made me like mad. Like why do people have to bully you based on like how you look? So I think when was it? It was like the Nicki Minaj era where like she had the Chinese bangs. It was like really big. So I did that for her, and then I dyed like the underneath pink, and just seeing like how she came after school, like, oh my god, everybody said they love my new hair, like. And then a week later, she's like, you know how many girls have Chinese bangs now? Everybody's dyeing like the underneath. So she felt like she was like not the person getting bullied, but people like she was getting like inspiration for people for their hair, and that
Mhm.
just made me feel really good about it because I just like making people feel better about themselves is like what I really like about doing hair.
Ah, we love that. How did you decide to go to cosmetology school then? Was this like you're doing it at home in the kitchen and then you decide like I'm going to make this into a profession, or did you always know? Like, how did that come about?
Well, I always knew
Mhm.
like hair for me was something I always wanted to do. Like I remember, so like I'm like Mexican, so in like the Hispanic community, there's this guy named Sammy, and he used to do all the stars, and my mom and us used to watch like there's a show called like Don Francisco, and he used to go there and give girls makeovers. And my mom's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, look, he's a stylist," and I always wanted to be like, he was like big in like the Hispanic community. So, but it was always suppressed from, I guess, like same thing as like the Hispanic culture that hair is like not something big. It's like a side gig that you do like in your basement,
Mhm.
apart from like your main 9 to 5 or whatever hours you work. So apart from that, I was in high school I did hair my whole life. So middle school was doing my sister's hair, her friend's hair. High school was doing my friend's hair, but it was always shunned upon. Like, no, like don't go do that. Go get a college degree. Like,
Yep.
my parents came from Mexico to here for a better life, and how could you do
Mhm.
hair when
Mhm.
hair in Mexico is not big? They're always like, no, 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 no. So I kind of let them push me away from it, and then I decided to try college. I was gonna go be a nurse. I hated English. I could not write a paper for my life. So I was like, nursing, math and science, great. I'm
Mhm.
good. I'm good. I can
Mhm.
do that. So, but I think it was like in my dorm one night, like studying for finals, and it was like a really dark time. Like, oh, let's get this paper over with. I couldn't write the paper. So then I was like looking at beauty schools instead of writing paper. I was like, you know what? Forget this paper. It's time to go to Cosmo school. I didn't tell my parents, which was bad. I did everything like behind their back, like
Mhm.
should have not. So the story was, hey mom, I feel like I'm too far away from home. I want to come closer. So I told them I was going to go to like a community college.
Mhm.
They believed they're like, oh yeah, save money. It's closer. You could be home. No, hell no. The whole time I was driving. to beauty school. I toured like 3 schools. One of the schools, I'm not gonna name them, but one of them, I felt like the vibe was off. No one really said hi to me when I went to tour. The second one, I signed the paper because I felt like that was my last option.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember in the little contract, a little letter says, if you do not show up on the first day, like you won't get charged. So I like, okay, I just kept that back in my head, like, okay, I won't get charged until I show up. So I never showed up. And then I went to go tour Paul Mitchell, which was like an hour away in the city, and I like fell in love. Like I love how like it was so diverse. I saw like other boys doing it, which like at the
Mm-hmm.
other school was mostly girls. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's like cool. Like, oh look, there's another dude that does here too. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can talk, and because before, like I would say like it's dominated by women, but now it's a lot more common to see the guys doing it and vice versa. So that's how I started. I went to Palm Intro and I drove back and forth, tricked my parents to getting me a car. My dad signed the lease. He thought it was for community college, but I was like, hell no, I'm not driving or taking the train. Nah. So I tricked them. He signed the lease. Then my mama, I think I was cleaning the back of my car and she's like, why is there a mannequin in the back of your car? And I was like, oh, like, I'm just practicing, And she's like, okay. And I never did homework. Like I never had homework because, Cosmo School wasn't really about writing papers or nothing. And I think one time she found my whole kit and she's like, Jose, what is this? And I was like, oh, girl, let me go hide real quick. But no, at first they were kind of like sad. Like, why would you drop out of school? Like, we did all this for you. And it kind of made they're trying to make me feel bad. But my sister like told them that I told them to in the nicest way possible. Like, you guys got to choose whatever you guys wanted to do with your life. Like, you guys wanted to start a family, do whatever that's your guys' life. Now, my life, for the rest of my life, I don't want to work at a hospital and be like, ugh, here again with more patients. Like, I think it takes a special person for that. And I know for a fact, I do not have bedside manner. I will get irritated. Like, girl, I'll come do your hair for you in the bed. Like, if your hair looking mess.
These are good things to know about yourself. I'm so impressed. But it's true. Like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. There's no sense denying it. A lot of our listeners are going to relate to this because there's a lot of stigma still, which is crazy. I mean, it's 2022. I mean, obviously, it was a few years ago when this was happening, but yeah, we got to break it. So what advice would you have for somebody who is interested maybe in becoming a pro, going to Cosmo School? If they've got parents that are going to say, this isn't for you, you shouldn't do it, this isn't a career. How do we help break that stigma?
Just do it. Like, I would say like at first at beauty school, it's a lot of like damn, this really is, it's not it. Like, it's slow. Like, you're trying to build the clientele. You're like, maybe my parents were right. And then just those moments of like self-doubt. We're like, yeah, it could have been like, because when I was in Cosmo School, like to kind of work through it, I used to go to Cosmo School, then I used to work at McDonald's part-time. So then after I graduated Cosmo School, I quit McDonald's, then I went to Target. So then I remember in Target, I was like, damn, I make more at Target than I make here doing here. And I went to school. So that was kind of always in the back of my head, like, really? Like, was this the right fact? But you just have to do it because at the end of the day, it's for yourself. It's your life. When you're 65, and you're like lived your life to the fullest, like, damn, did I really do what I wanted to do in life? And I don't want to look back and regret that, oh no, I followed what other people's wanted to do for me, whereas I should have done what I wanted for myself because it's for me, not for them.
Yeah. I mean, that is honestly like no better way to segue into what you're up to now. You're doing stuff for yourself. I was going to curse.
Sure.
How did you get to hair Cuttery? How did you find that home?
Okay, so when I used to go get my haircut when I was younger, we used to go to like this mom and pop shop. My dad was friends with them. And it was always whatever my dad told the lady. It was never whatever I wanted. So then until I got like a part-time job again at McDonald's when I could afford to pay my own haircut, I was like, forget this. I'm gonna go find my own person who I want, who I can relate to. So then I think like 2 minutes down the road, there was a hair Cuttery. And I used to get my haircut. That's where I started getting my haircut. So, I was there in high school. I made friends with the girls. In college, I still went to go get haircuts. And then I remember telling the girl that was cutting my hair, her name was Jasmine. She's like, yeah, dude, like I dropped out of college and I'm going to Paul Mitchell. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's cool. Like, I can't wait till you're done. So then fast forward when I was about to graduate, I was working at Target and like I was like right about to finish Paul Mitchell. I hit a Target. I remember the last day at Target, this lady, the store manager, she was like, the bathroom is a mess. As in like there's stuff on the walls, like people like, I was like, I'm not gonna go clean that. Like you literally saw it. Go clean it up yourself. Like just because you're the store manager doesn't mean you gotta send someone else to do it. Like authority really. So I felt like she was trying to degrade me, and like it was just bad, toxic. I mean, that place was just toxic for me. So I left. So I was gonna go apply at Sephora. I don't know. I was really confused on what I wanted to do back in the day because I kind of did makeup and hair, and I was like, should I just focus on hair? Should I do makeup? And then at that time, I would think I was a little bit more comfortable with makeup than hair.
Mhm.
And then I remember I was getting my hair cut right before my interview for Sephora, and the girl was like, "Did you already graduate?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude. Like I already graduated like a month ago." She's like, "Where are you working?" I was like, "At Target. I'm about to go to Sephora." She's like, "Sephora for what?" Like, we're hiring, right? I was like, "What?" So then after my haircut, literally, I like got up, went to the back, got the interview. Sephora called me, Target called me. They're like, "Where are you? Your shift started an hour ago." And I was like, "I'm not answering, decline, like do not disturb." So I got the interview. The same at the end of the shift. Well, not the shift. At the end of the interview, the girl was like, "When do you want to start?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I didn't. It kind of like was an awe because I was like, "Okay, I'm not happy at Target. I'm about to go over here and see if this even makes me happy." And then it was just really like out of nowhere that I was just offered, and I just started with Cuttery since like my start of my career.
Incredible. How long have you been at Hair Cuttery?
For like I think 5 or 6 years now.
Nuts. It goes so fast. Tell us about what you like most about your day to day. So you're in the salon space. Like, what are you most excited about getting up and doing?
Um, I think just hair in general, or like making people feel good about themselves. I do like color like the most, but it's not like I won't cut hair or I won't like do certain things. But like the thing I do enjoy the most is coloring, and then also making people feel good about themselves. Like people come in and like, oh, like yeah, I'm like, oh, what brings you in? They're like, oh, my husband died. I was like, oh, like what am I supposed to say? Like I'm not a grief counselor. Like I'm just, but we are counselors too. But like don't listen to my advice because I don't know if it's gonna work. But yeah, so I just like how people are so comfortable to come to us about their problems. And like I just met you like 5 minutes ago, but
You're opening
I don't
all the way
like
up.
I just don't know like what it is, but I like how people could come to me and how like I could work with their hair and somehow make their like life better, or like that moment that they're going through a little bit better. If it's grief, if it's like a new job promotion and they want to get like a whole new look, they want to feel like the boss, or if it's like graduation, your wedding day, your birthday, like everything somehow, all those big special moments in life revolve around hair. Like you always can't forget about your hair.
Straight up. No, I mean, there's honestly, like, it all comes back to that. And we're a hair obsessed podcast, so we love to hear it, but it's true. I mean, for all of those major moments, like, you're worried about what's going on. Or you could do what I do and just buzz it all off and not worry about it, which is a choice.
It's a look.
All right. Yeah, it's a look. What about mentors? So often on this podcast, we talk a lot about with stylists how important a mentor can be, whether for good or for bad. They had a really bad one and it burned them out and they couldn't do it anymore, or they had an incredible person that helped motivate them to, take it to the next level. Where do you stand? Do you have any mentors?
So for the most of my career, I felt I would just say like alone. Like I didn't have no one to go to. Like I remember starting off there, the girls would come to me for color, and I was like, I just started. Like you've been here for a while, because they were really good at cutting. So like the girls there that taught me, their names like Jasmine, Erin, and Maria. Shout out to them. They taught me how to fade. Like before, I could not fade like to save my life, and now I have like a lot of men clientele too, and I color. No, not until I started getting into the education department with hair cuttery. Okay. It was a long process. I remember I was trying to get in with education, and it's always like, oh, we'll get back to you, or we get back to you, or it was just like a something I got pushed onto the side until it was until COVID, where like the
Mhm.
original salon I was at got shut down, and then they transferred me to a bigger location, and that's when I met our new manager. His name is Corey, and he's like the one person who like, you really want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I want to be like an educator. Like, I've been asking for 2 years, and it's always like, oh, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you, we'll get back to you. And I was kind of like, damn, like, when is it going to be my moment? Like, I've been working and working, like,
Mhm.
where is it at? But he was the one. He's like, I believe in you. So he like talked to the DL, which is our district leader, and then district leader brought it up to our regional leader, and they're like, why have you not said this before? And I was like, I've been saying this whole time, like, but I do believe it takes that one person, just that one person, to believe in you.
Mhm.
So he's like my mentor for like behind the chair, like the business part of it. And then as far as like for the education side, I would say her name is Shayna. She really helps me grow with, she's like a licensed teacher, she's a licensed cosmetologist. So she gives me tips and tricks to really step out of my little shell, I guess I kind of created along the way, my journey, like to not get hurt or something. And she's like, no, step out, like just be you, say whatever you say, no matter what. People might not like you, there's people who are going to love you, hate you, like no matter what you do, there's always going to be those bad people. So she's like, just live it, like just be you. So I really appreciate it about them too, because they believe in me, and it just takes like those two people to believe in you.
Amazing. Well, I mean, shout out to both of them. They sound incredible. But let's talk a little bit about things that you've been doing. So, in the spirit of like really embracing what you do best, you've done some really cool stuff in Chicagoland, which includes the World of Dance and Chicago Fashion Week. So, if you wouldn't mind, talk to us a little bit about what the World of Dance event entailed. How did you get the opportunity? All of it.
So this was all through beauty school. Since Paul Mitchell was like downtown Chicago, they had
Mhm.
connection with a lot of like those events. So I know like World of the Dance is sponsored by Paul Mitchell, because you always see the signs when they're dancing Paul Mitchell, Paul Mitchell. So it's like sponsored
Mhm.
by them. So by going to Paul Mitchell, they had I guess you call like extracurricular activities that you could do outside of like just regular beauty school, and it was called damn, what was it called? I forgot what it's called, but you could do stuff outside. So so that's how I got it. They're like, oh, design team. So so that's how I did World of Dance. Like, hey, we're doing World of Dance. We need stylists to go help and do hair.
Mhm.
So like, sure. Like I always used to see them on TV. Like it'd be so cool to actually go do their hair. So we got there in the morning. They had like probably like 16 stations set up, and it was like dance group after dance group, or just random people like, hey, can you do this look for me? We're like, sure. They told us just help out whoever wants their hair done.
Mhm.
So it was cool. It was like 9 to 6. We got to like go watch them dance, and we did like team looks where like every girl had to have the same hair because they were in the dance team. It was, this is not looking right, this is this, and girls could go crazy sometimes. So
Yep.
but it was fun. So that was the World of Dance. It was more lean back. Like it was okay, but it wasn't so much running around because they just came to you whenever. Whereas like Chicago Week, Chicago Fashion Week, same thing. Paul Mitchell design team, they gave us opportunity. That one was crazy. That was like, okay, model one, sit here, do this, 5 minutes, let's go. And I was like, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. So I was really happy. A little like next, 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 and it was really fun. I like how like fast paced it was, and look after look after look. Like let's get this going. And then you could like we used to go off to the side, like peek behind, and you see the model walk in. And you're like, damn, like I did her hair.
You
And
did
she's
that.
like,
Yeah.
oh, I did that.
Sick. Talk to us a little bit about what's in your kit. You were saying like your mom had discovered it way back when you were lying about going to beauty
Yeah.
school. But like right now, if somebody were to open up your kit, like what is your go-to like top three things?
Okay. My round brushes. I love doing blowouts. I feel like I love them. I love my ergo round brushes. What else do I have in my kit? My round brushes for sure. I love my Marcel's by Hot Tools. I feel like those are my true irons.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my clippers by Babyliss. My clippers, my trimmers, my box shavers. I would say those are my top three.
Boom. All right. Talk to us about footwear. This is something that's come up a lot on our podcast where people, I mean, like, obviously, we're on our, you guys, I'm not a stylist. People are on their feet for a lot of time. And, footwear is important to keep yourself upright. So what are we rocking with? Like, what do you recommend? Are you wearing Crocs behind the chair?
No, it's whatever makes the fit complete. Like if your feet hurt. When I went to school, the girl, I remember the teacher like stuck it up. You got heels. It's the look. It's the like people want to know like where like I wear like sometimes I wear some like some people at work wear like the running shoes and they're your running shoes with jeans don't cut it. Like you can wear running shoes, but make sure they look good. Like there's those cool running shoes. Like the Yeezys or something, something nice. Like that will go. Like don't wear your Skechers unless you got like back problems. Then yeah, girl, for sure, wear them. But if you're 20 and 25 with no back issues, put on your heels. I wear my boots to work, even like my combat boots, my regular boots, my Docs, like whatever I'm feeling that day. It's for inserts though will save your life. I do have inserts in my shoes, but like that's the inside. No one knows they have inserts, but like the outside, I'm all about like looking your best, feeling your best. People, yes, we're in the fashion industry too. Like we're stylists. People like, oh damn, you could dress, you look good. I want you to do my hair because I like how you look.
Makes sense. All right, talk to us about the holiday season. It is incredibly basically here. Like fall, people are booking. What is it looking like? How are you staying sane?
Man, holiday season's like one, like damn, it's about to happen, and I'm like, let's get ready to eat, run around, like we're gonna shove meals down our mouth like in 2 minutes, back to back. People walking in, can you squeeze me in, please? I was like, no, but you know what I do? I guess whatever. It's Merry Christmas. I'm squeezing you in. So, but no, like. I feel like breaks are really important because a lot of people tend to burn out during the holidays. Like you're working like 5, 6 days, 10-hour days. So like make sure you get that 30-minute break, or if you don't want to, I guess at least 15 or 20 to sit down, relax, put your feet up, eat something good. Don't eat McDonald's or something, like eat something good. I feel like that's really important for the holidays. And learn to say no. Like it's okay to say no. Like if you're that person didn't book and you're like working your ass off and she still wants you for do that full highlight, I'm sorry. I'll get you for New Year's, but not for Christmas. So it's okay to say no. Like people just need to learn that we're not robots. We're not like, I can't do this 24/7. So you got to catch a break and say no sometimes.
No, that makes sense. It is important advice, honestly. Like it's maybe sometimes harder to do than it is to say. But people shout out, listen to that advice. Current hair color trends. Like what are you into right now? So you were talking about how you really enjoy doing coloring. What are your thoughts? Color, technique, like what's the most exciting trend that you're seeing?
Well, balayage, I feel like is never going to go out right now. I feel like
never.
It's never. Everybody loves not having to come in every 6 to 8 weeks for their highlights. I really like in like the skunk stripes or like the color blocking in the front and underneath where like it's bold colors of impacts. The rainbow streaks where like it's from like the whole rainbow, basically red, yellow, blue, orange, like all the colors melted into one. I'm liking what is it? Like the shag wolfie cut with if your hair's like curly, it really brings it out. Like the curl textures, you add some pop on the sides of like something bright. I think all that's going on right now, I'm kind of into.
Can't beat it. All right. Talk to us about how your clients would describe you. I mean, I feel like people have gotten to know you through this podcast already, but we're not in your chair. So if I were in your chair, what are the words that I might use to describe you? Or what do you hope that I would say?
A lot of the clients say I'm a hustler because I tell them like, apart from just like hair cuttery, so I do hair cuttery, and then I do education with hair cuttery, and then I also do bridal and like wedding stuff on the weekends. So I'm working on like I'll go in the morning 6 a.m. go do like a whole wedding of 6 or 8, then go to the salon, go do like a full balayage like from 4 to 7, and there goes like a 10-12 hour day on a Saturday. I also get sometimes do like I guess like magazine like published work, so I have to do like articles with people too. So I guess that's one word, a hustler. I do like to work. I just love to work. Like I guess I like the money aspect and like being busy. I like how it's keeping me on my feet. The other one would be honest. Like if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. If I really think like it's not going to look good,
Hmm.
we're not going to
You're
do it.
gonna let them know.
I'll guide you into something that we could do similar. But if that shade of blonde is going to look like you're a zombie and like pasty and like you look dead, no. Like let's give you something that's going to make you look healthy, glowy, rejuvenated. Like that's all about. That's what I'm trying to do. Make you look good. And I guess the last one, the last word. I don't know. A lot of my clients say main character, like I give main character vibes, but I don't see it. Even though everybody else does it, I'm like I don't really see it. Like I'm kind of shy sometimes, but I think when I do hear it come out of my shell because I'm doing something I'm confident in.
Sure.
Whereas like when I step away from the hair world, I tend to shut down. But if I'm in my element, then I feel really confident. But outside of it, it's like I'm a whole other person.
Well, we're liking getting to know this person. All right, Jose, what are you most proud of in terms of what you've done? I mean, you're early in your career still, but you've done a heck of a lot of stuff. What are you most proud of?
I would say getting into the education department,
Cool.
but particularly doing the American Beauty Show in Chicago. So like the big cosmetology event, like
Baby,
everybody,
yes.
people travel from like the Midwest because Chicago's like the Midwest. So we have like all these other little, well, I mean, they're states, but these other towns that, you know, the ABS show is not going to go to because they're not that big of a city. So like being on a stage, I remember like in Cosmo school, I would go to the show. I'm like, oh, how do I get up there on a stage? Like any stage, like I will want someone walking by and like be interested in what I have to say. So being able, thanks to like here Cuttery, to be like on the stage and like participating and doing models and like doing like an hour show, 2 hour shows, and people actually genuinely coming up asking questions. It really showed how hard it could work because literally I was doing models that whole week. And then I did a mannequin one night last minute because I didn't have a model. So I stayed up till like 2 a.m. And then it was the day of the show. Then Friday, woke up at 6, didn't get home until the next till like 1 a.m. because like the after events and the next planning. So that whole week, I probably slept for like 4 hours every day. And I remember on Tuesday, because I don't know why I didn't just take Tuesday off. I still went on Tuesday after the Monday show, did hair all day at the salon, got home, and I literally went outside and I just like cried. I was like, what the hell did I just do? Like, I can't believe I did this. Like, I just felt like dead. And my mom was like, are you okay? You look sick. I was like, I'm probably going to get sick pretty soon. Like, this is too much work for me. But I was really happy that I could, like, I have that much drive in me. Like, I'm passionate. Like, if I wasn't passionate about this, I would like call them, okay, I'm sick. I'm not going. But since it was, I really like hair and love hair and I want to grow with like, in this career that I'm willing to like sleep for hours if it, you know, if it means I get to be on the stage and do what I love the most.
All right. Well, in that same vein, what do you want to be doing in the next 5 years? Bigger stages, more shows? What is it?
I wrote this down. Where is it at?
All right. Let's hear it. Speak it into being.
Okay. So I said either start or develop my own product line, whether it be color would be cool or like shampoo, conditioner, like some product first and then build up on it and then eventually you know either have a little shelf at Ulta or Sephora or be a Cosmo or Salon Centric one day. Like my product is on the shelf. That's one route. I either or work for like a big like education brand, so like being like a Redken artist and Olaplex, you know, ambassador, Schwarzkopf, like the brands I like. And then if not that, my big goal probably like a celebrity artist. So like, you know, like I love Spanish music, so like Carol G, Becky G, or like I don't know anybody, but I would want to.
We're gonna say
like
Bad Bunny. Let's get in there. Let's make that happen too.
I love Bad Bunny too. So just like being their stylist, like, hey, I want this look for this night, and this is my outfit. Come up with something. Next city, we're doing this look. I need this hairstyle. So just having to be on my feet and always changing their look and getting to travel and like behind the stage. I know they'd be like putting wig on, wig off, switch this wig, change this. Like, I just love how fast paced it is. And them, since they're such a big person, they're like an outlet for my art to be viewed on them. So that's like my biggest goal. Like, I feel like if it just has to be one, if I could just go like on tour with one person, I feel like my life would be complete. Like I did what I wanted to do, like a celebrity artist. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, big things, Jose, but I feel like you can make it happen. And yeah, let's see if we can get you on stage or backstage with Bad Bunny or somebody. Shout out to his team. All right, let's talk a little bit about Hispanic/Latinx Heritage Month. The beauty industry is increasingly inclusive, but there's still a lot of work to be done. What has your experience been like as a Latino Latinx hairstylist within this industry?
I would say, I guess, like growing up, Hispanic or Latino, there's this thing called like machista, which is just like really masculine. Like men have to be masculine. And I think when I was younger, it was shunned upon because I used to play with my sisters like Bratz and Barbies, not because I wanted to play dress up, it's because I like their hair on the head. So I used to chop out the hair, make them bald headed. Like they were ugly, but I loved it.
So you had fun. Yep.
And then I remember my mom wouldn't get mad. My dad would kind of be like, but my family members around it really pushed them to like, hey, don't let them do that. Like he's not supposed to do that. He's supposed to go like play with cars. And like, I mean, I'll still play with cars. I love playing baseball, like, but I just something about hair, which kind of just like, why are we like this? Like hair doesn't have like, it's not everybody grows. I'm a boy, girl, whatever, whatever you identify as. It's hair, like it's still hair. Like, what does it matter if I'm a boy doing a woman's hair or if it's a girl in a barber shop? Like, that shouldn't matter. It should be based upon like how you treat your people and like the skills you have, not because you're a man, you should be working in a barber shop. Like, I get that sometimes, not a lot anymore, but I used to like, oh, are you sure you could do my hair? You're a guy and I'm a girl. Like, are you sure you could do my hair? I'm like, girl, sit your ass down. Let me show you what I could do. So I would get mad because why do people think like that? Or even dudes will like be like, oh, you know how to cut my hair. Like you're a dude, you're about to hook me up. And this back in the day, I'm like, I do not know how to fade, sir. You're about to have so many lines. You're about to be so salty. But now it switches because now I'm like confident I know what I'm doing, but I still see it. We're like, oh yeah. Or some people assume, like it's just too much assumptions.
Yep.
Where people need to be more open and just. It's like I don't know how to say it. But the main thing would be just the whole machista thing where like men shouldn't be playing with hair if it's not another guy. Like you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. Gender roles can be tough. And especially when it's super ingrained in a culture. What are some good things about the Hispanic/Latino Latinx culture? Like what does heritage mean to you in the spirit of the month?
Everything. Like I love cooking. I love food. Like I love Mexican food, like pozole, tamales. Like I love to cook. I love our music. Like you could dance. There's rhythm. There's the bass, but it also shows you like where it comes from. Like there's the trendy music, and then there's music that's developed in like the little towns that people don't really hear about because they're more like you say like underground music, but just not as well as played. And it shows you like the music and like what they come from. Sometimes it tells stories. Like mariachi is a really big thing. I think we're also like prideful in what we do, just because like the opportunities weren't exactly given to us sometimes. So I just like how we like no matter what we like, people could tell us no, and like I'm not gonna take that for an answer. I think it's just how we were raised, like how my parents raised us.
Has your heritage impacted your life or your work as a hairstylist?
Maybe I would say the work ethic I seen my dad do when I was younger. Sure. Like he'll work, I don't know, ever since my sister, like 22 years, I guess you could say, from just 22. He worked like 7 days a week, 2 jobs, like 60 hours a week. He wouldn't take vacation, like never. I would never see him take vacation. Like he'll be off Christmas and like Thanksgiving and like the major holidays, but weekends he'll be working. During the week. So just seeing how he'll work just for like I could have a place to sleep, like food, food to eat when I was a kid, clothes and the little things. And he would never complain. Like he never complains like, oh, I was tired. I remember we'll ask him, can we go to the movies? I know he didn't want to take us because he was tired. But he'll take us to the movies. He wouldn't watch the movie. He'll definitely knock out like 5 minutes into the movie. But he'll still take us. So it's kind of I would say my work ethic came from that, from just work, work, work. Like it's okay, like you'll rest. Like, but I do take days off. I learned that you need to take days off. It's for
Gotta
your
take care of
mental
yourself.
health,
Yep.
yourself. Take care of yourself first. But I do have the work ethic and drive that I grew up like seeing. Like it's okay to work and work for the things you want.
Do you think that you draw any influence from your heritage for looks that you create in the salon? I mean, you mentioned like Don Francisco and Sammy and like being influenced as a kid with your sister, but do you feel like that comes into what you're up to in the salon these days?
So now what is the Y2K hair era, like the
Yeah.
little braids and a whole bunch of little elastics. I remember my mom used to do that on my little sister, and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what Y2K is. Like she's an old Hispanic lady, she don't know what that is. But I remember she used to do like a whole bunch of little rubber bands and do like those bubble braids, and they were cute. And like my mom probably didn't know they were called bubble braids. She probably just
Yeah.
thought they were cute, because I remember in Mexico the little girls will all have that like colorful rubber bands, the bubble braids, the rows going all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
So like those looks I do like to do. Like they're fun looks for like mannequins or like festivals. But it's nice to see how like it comes from somewhere else. It just didn't expire in like in the 2000s and 90s. Like some of it goes back to someone else developed the style. I feel trends just come back and forth, and it gets recycled and brought back. It always comes back.
Yeah. So speaking of coming back, you talked a little bit about like Carol G, Becky G. There are so many Latino artists that are setting the cultural expectation for beauty for mainstream culture. So white people, black people, all sorts of folks. How do you feel about that? Bad Bunny famously in this latest album has a song about everybody wanting to be Latino now, but they lack sazon. Like there's a different era that we're living through. Is this exciting? Like, what do you think about it?
What's exciting that our culture is being more put out there. I feel like the Latin artists and music was more like, if you were Hispanic, you'll play it. It wouldn't play on the radio, like the main radios, like the English radios.
Yep.
Whereas like now, like you'll hear them, they're trending on like the Billboard charts. They're trending on like charts you would have never thought.
Yep.
And just seeing how like they're paving the way even for like other type of artistry to come in, because it's just art. We're just people. Like it doesn't matter where you come from. It's just art. Can you do the work?
Makes sense. Yeah. All right. So talk to us a little bit about more. You mentioned earlier in our convo about the sort of machismo, and then also in your beauty school experience, being excited to see other guys doing hair. Why is it important for little boys and little girls to see diversity in the salon professional industry, not just in terms of hair and hairstyles, but also in terms of stylists?
I think it's nice because when I was younger, I didn't see any guys doing hair where I live. Maybe because I lived like in the suburbs or something. Where now it's more starting to be more common. But if I would have seen somebody that wants to do what I was doing, it probably would have inspired me a little bit more than feeling like I was on my own. Like, who do I look up to? Like, there's people on TV. Was that someone on TV? Like, they're famous. Like, they're on TV already. I didn't see anybody start from nothing and like, okay, let me work my way up and do this. And I just want to be that person that do whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter if someone tells you no or who's telling you not to do it. Do whatever you want. So I feel like it's good to be the role models to be to little kids, because they are going to be the next generation. Like when I'm too old to do the hair, they're going to be the next person doing hair. Like, and they're going to learn from whatever the old generation's done.
For sure. All right, let's talk a little bit about our quick takes. These are the questions that we ask of all of our guests, same ones, but what is new is what you guys bring to the table. So first up, what is a quote that you love?
What is it? You can't wait. What is it? You can't wait till life isn't hard anymore to be happy. That's really pushed me a lot along the way.
I mean, that's kind of perfect for we're all dealing with stuff. There's never necessarily a good time. Good reminder for people. What is the last thing that you Googled?
Pho near me. Yesterday I was craving some pho, and I was like, damn, like we usually go to this one spot, and I was like, oh, I want to try something else. And then I was like, oh damn, there's a new pho spot and I haven't been to it. So yeah, it's fun near me.
Amazing. Amazing. We love that. And if you guys are near where Jose is at, you should check that place out.
Okay.
All right. Wherever he's going to. What is the cringiest trend that you have tried?
Oh my God. So back when I was in high school, it was like the whole swag era when it's happened. Like the YOLO shirts used to come out. And I remember for some reason, like grandpa sweaters were a thing, like vintage grandpa sweaters. They were so itchy. I used to sweat so much, but I was there for the look.
The look.
And also, I think it was like a skunk stripe. It was like a blonde. It wasn't even like a level 10 blonde. It was probably like a level 8. It was ugly, but I thought I was rocking it. It was like from the front of my head to like the back of my head. So it kind of looked like a whole stripe. And I thought it was cool, but I look back at the pictures and I'm like, damn, my hair was fried. It was not a look, but that was so cringy. The grandpa sweater, the swag era, and the whole skunk stripe in my head. Never again.
Never again. You heard it here. All right. Shampoo bars, yes or no from you?
No. Something about them being in a bottle.
That was easy. All right. Yep. No, this is a hot topic on this podcast because we all know we should be better, more environmentally friendly, but people have not figured out the shampoo bar and the conditioner bar yet. So it is what
I just feel weird it's not in a bottle. I guess, yeah, save the planet, but if it's not in a bottle, it kind of feel weird.
Yeah. There are the metal ones. They're getting better, but yeah, no, this is a popular response. What is the animal that you are most like?
I guess you could say like a cat, not like a house cat, maybe like a jaguar or something, because they tend to like hide in the background and they observe a lot until they're ready to actually go. Like, so that's what I feel like. I like to observe a lot, and then when I feel comfortable and I like gain like what's happening around me, then I decide to speak. I'm not like, oh no, I'll get there, but let me just see what's happening around me first.
Okay, I can see it. What is one product that you cannot live without? So this can be in the salon, this could be at home, whatever. We're product junkies on this podcast. Everybody's looking for the next best thing. What are you obsessed with? What can you not live without?
My hairspray, the Kenra 25 volume hairspray.
Okay, we'll be dropping the link is why you gotta shout the brand out. All right, cool. What is some advice that you've got for someone who wants to make it to the top of the salon professional industry?
Oh, that you have to eat shit for a long time before you can eat something nice. Like, okay. A lot
really direct.
Yes. There's weeks that my paychecks were smaller than McDonald's. And I was like, damn, I should go back. But now it's way past that. But it was a lot of constant. Should I do this? Should I not? Should I go back to school? It was a lot of back and forth. But if this is what you really want to do, you'll stick through the mud, all getting out of the hole, about to reach the top, and then you fall back in. And it's just, you had to have drive and push. I know it's at all community, but the same position you want, everybody else is competing for it too. So you have to remember, yes, we don't degrade people, put people down, but you also have to remember that another person's dream is your dream too, but you have to work for it.
Well put. I mean, we don't actually get that kind of advice on this podcast. That tends to be a little bit different, but that I think is really, like, at the end of the day, an important piece of perspective. No. That's what I'm getting. I mean, there's a lot of people that want to be doing what we're all doing. So yeah, Jose, thank you for your time. This was a lot of fun getting to know you. We appreciate you being as honest as you were, and we wish you the best of luck in all of the stuff that you're hoping to accomplish. And don't forget about us when you're backstage with some of the biggest acts.
I'll remember. If it happens, let's manifest.
We're gonna manifest it. We're gonna be back there, and we're gonna be doing some interviews with you.
I love it. It's like my first one. I was super excited about it, kind of nervous, but then I was like, no, I'm just gonna be me. Like, I'm not gonna be this other person. I'm not gonna fake this person. I'm gonna just be who I am. But I'm really like honored and like that you guys took your time out of your guys' day, because you guys are a good podcast. So I'm just truly honored that you guys invited me on.
For sure. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate it.